Yes, welcome to What a goal yesterday!
Andy Holiday! Where is he?
That's what happens here, mate. If you do well in the reserves, the coupon show, you get pushed up to
and
the first
Andy's
team.
had a nightmare recently, so out you go.
Do you know
Dropped.
what a reception? Did you see it yesterday? What a reception he got when he came
coming
on. It was that was unbelievable. And I've saw some
did he?
some of the greats coming back to Rangers. You know, even at half time, or players that have played in the past, Kev, and come back and they get a standing ovation. His was unbelievable.
I know, but is that not because they can relate to Andy? Because he used to sit and watch the fucking team as well for 90 minutes.
But the whole stadium were up singing Andy Hallett. It was unbelievable. I was even doing it in the house. I joined in, me and the boys.
I don't know why I didn't play yesterday.
Clay's on or off?
Innit?
Oh, well.
Imagine that's full family.
Who's that big guy? Who's the big boy who follows loose a bit?
Oh, Carver.
Scotland, Carver, he was sharp with the door. Did you?
You know raging because Carver done a shite in your ensuite.
You're enjoying the Carver part, aren't you?
Because you have took it
Did you rush back from Far Park after you scored to go and watch the Rangers game in the telly?
I didn't even saw it because I was dropping my missus off. What was it, a deflection?
But you had a wee bit of trouble with the missus dropping off, didn't you?
Well, not any trouble. The cyclist that was passing me had a wee bit of trouble. Whatever he dropped, I just ran right over the top of it. Aye. Equipment needed for that boy.
Mate, he's the best guy ever. As soon as Maida scored, I was laughing. So I texted him saying, "Congrats on the goal, mate," and he wrote back, "Konnichiwa." Afternoon. What a guy.
You don't know, have you looked through my family tree? We're kind of...
Have you thought about
that? We're for Tibetan monks. We used to live in the mountains and that.
No way.
Aye, that's the Ferguson history.
Is it really?
What, your dad's thing?
That's how I've always been inclined. I've always wanted to climb Everest. I'm serious. See all the hills in about Monroe's and Glen?
You can't get up the fucking stairs and you're going to climb Mount Everest.
Start off with Croy Hill or something.
Well, with this knee, I'll struggle a wee bit.
That's what I'm saying.
By the time leave it a few years, there'll be stair lifts and all that, won't there?
By the way, I wanted to say to you as well, Mark Overmars. Just when we thought you were the Hornets.
I read that.
When we thought you were the Hornets in Amsterdam.
What's he done?
He's sending texts to women at Ajax.
Was it?
What is it with wingers being horny?
You know that? We pat everyone else another one.
Boys Grosvenor, another new huffer. Non-stop, double the odds it is.
Double odds on your first sports bet after you sign up winning. Winning's paid in cash. Also sign up at gsport/open goal. Simon, how Grosvenor have been quiet recently? What's the deal with them? Want a break?
Want a break?
Want a break.
Played the FA Cup the weekend, didn't they?
Score.
10-0.
Been a big man, hey. Big man. Rugby at the weekend.
I know, well take the ball at your t-shirt, Kev, come on. Get in the ball back.
Take your metal studs off,
Hey, mate. Full beam.
Oh, fucking hell.
How was it, rugby, big man?
Rugby it was a great day out, but the atmosphere didn't live up to what I thought it would be.
You hear all that stuff, didn't you?
Maybe the game was that great.
It's a bit rough.
But amazing. Scotland won. Superb. Couple of pints of Guinness in the stand, watching it. Murrayfield's a stadium.
Oh, was it hospitality?
Why does Scotland not play their football at Murrayfield?
There's some big goals, mate.
I know, but it's a proper stadium.
You've been in Murrayfield?
Aye. Far better.
That's played the Royal, didn't it?
Oh, mate, that's a stadium. But no, it was good, all good. No fuck all about rugby, but Scotland won.
By the way, Boca is flying. 50 kids
flying.
50 kids listening, it's amazing. I'll say as a few of the coaches, you get a bit ahead of yourself. It's not about you, it's about the kids.
So just calm yourselves.
Calm yourself right down. You know what I mean? A lot of these coaches now want to be putting us me talk about themselves. It's not about you. Do you know what I mean? It ain't about you. So just about...
What did you work on this week with them?
Gegenpress, inverted fullbacks. Primary ones, inverted fullbacks.
Primary ones.
Can't kick a ball, but they're coming in. They're coming in. And it was weird actually, not one mum or mother dropped her kids off.
What do you mean?
Because you're a kid. No, because we said last week, remember?
So
dads that came and took their kids off.
And you said they were all wearing hot pants on the dads.
So it's good. But the coaching side, I tell you, the coaching's unbelievable. It really is. I said that.
What's the age group? What you got?
Primary, the first two in the first is primary 7. We still need to shut them up a wee bit because there's new faces not coming. We still need to get that right. But what we're doing there, we believe in the right way for them to progress and develop. So all good.
And he's on a Zoom call with the President Boca.
Every Friday morning, after the Thursday session. It was roles reversed this week.
The O was a wee bit noisy this week, wasn't it?
Very noisy, but it was roles reversed. He should have done it this time. He said I'm not doing it this week, it's your turn.
What is the old ginger in Boca?
Why is
Why is there ginger hair? No.
Why does he get a fox's arse?
Right, lads, YouTube, we're closing in on a big milestone, nearly 100,000 subscribers, Derek.
Sensational.
Unbelievable.
So I'm going for the boys, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you the now,
The
Derek.
cult.
Celtic Park, 60,000. Ibrox, 55, 50, whatever it is.
Bouncing, aye.
Open goal, 100,000. There you go. Biggest supported thing in the
I think we're the third biggest supported club on Twitter.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Good,
That'll
isn't it?
keep going. The fans have been unbelievable from start to finish.
So we're not far off 100k, so if you're a
they buy
viewer
the
of the
mer-
show,
did they buy the
fan, make sure
merchandise?
you subscribe.
Did they buy the merchandise? No.
Merchandise is good, isn't
I
it?
think it's present birthdays and Christmases.
There you
The
go.
field on that. Aye.
I don't think you
Steve Bruce has got one, isn't
Is that a cracker? You
Some
should look at
crack on
it. That's what's the crack.
it? What was that? You remember what that podcast was?
That was the one with the dick mask. One of the greatest. I don't think that was underrated that moment. Remember the dick mask?
So subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you're watching today.
I hit it.
It's important for us, isn't it?
I hit
Absolutely.
it. As every laptop in your house hit it. Do you know what I mean? Go through all the laptops.
I don't know all this.
Aye.
Or use.
Kev as well, big night for Lockie. Gary Locke.
Yesterday, Lockie's testimonial, he offered a testimonial with Hearts because of his
Brilliant.
service as a player, manager and ambassador now.
Cleaner now, isn't it?
Nah, he's not an ambassador.
Yes.
He didn't know that he was
And,
ambassador.
There's only one ambassador.
So when's that happening?
It happened yesterday. It
happened yesterday?
He's got 4 dinners.
Right.
You ate off 4.
He didn't get one, did he know?
Aye. Fucking dinner was decent to be fair. 3-course meal, it was amazing. But no, 4 dinners. And they asked me to speak yesterday.
Right.
So I was the main speaker, so and a wee quick...
What did you say? Gives a wee bit.
No. Just don't want to obviously air my
Dirty laundry in public.
Aye, because I'm trying to get me on
Because it's
gigs
over
with
the
it.
space.
I'm trying to get me on
Did you
gigs
do
with
any
it.
accents?
That's ridiculous.
No, I
don't
didn't do
like
any
that.
accents to
No,
be fair.
any accents for the crowd.
No.
By the way, everybody's loving that. So many people mention me saying
I
his
got a guy.
He's a Gary Locke
I got a guy in the Uber last week, and he's like, "Are you Big Kev?" And I went, "Aye, mate, love your accents. Could you like just
You was wanting Shaq? He thought it was fake accent.
He says, could you
Did you
drop,
take your jeans off?
could you drop me off and just say goodbye in a Welsh accent?"
No, you never. Did you do it?
No, I don't know. Fuck. Try fucking doing it.
Big, so when's the other ones? I would like to go and pay my respects to you, Lockie.
You died. It's just a testimonial.
No, but you pay your respect with going and buying a ticket and giving him a few bob in his back
Did you play with him or play against
Aye,
him?
I was at Hartsfield.
He's going to get a match. I think he's
lad.
getting a match as well, so I think he's got to look at trying and put the 5-1 winning cup final team against
that's
players
way
that he's
bombed,
played with back in the day. So he might get the nod there.
He's a good
No,
guy.
he's a
Lockie,
brilliant guy.
Nah,
He's done a wee show,
he's a really, like I was thinking yesterday,
You should have had them on, hadn't you?
somebody
Some
mentioned
rubbish. He
about
won't be back on.
in the early days when he did the tenants thing.
Aye, it's also see,
He's
after that
always-
show, wasn't he?
He was
That
fucking-
brilliant show with that. Listen, wasn't he brilliant for your part? Remember?
He's never
His
been back.
performances in here was performances on a pitch that workman like.
Aye.
It was a 5 out of 10 every week.
Great guy. But no, it was all good.
Aye, he's a good guy.
Raised a lot of money.
So,
I want to hear a wee bit of a speech.
suppose it was. I've been tipped that it was a few wee stories for SWG.
What was it?
No, I told, what did I do? I started off how I ended up in Sunderland, things that happened at Sunderland, and then moved from club to club, and then I kind of finished off with a wee chat about like the gambling and stuff. Like after I speak
We cheery into it. We cheery
It's
into
not
it.
really a cheer in because they got a fucking stand in the base and everybody got up and the amount of people that came up and the amount of people that come up and just say, "Fucking hell, big man, that's hit home." So if it helps one person, Simon,
Brilliant.
it's one person we don't need to worry about. So.
But it's not just talking, there's actions as well. What was it you and the Jet did up on the stage?
I didn't even know how to do that anymore.
The Jet wasn't there. I was quite disappointed.
Was he not?
Oh, was he
No, disappointed.
Have you tried that? Going up in the after dinner speaking?
No,
That's a tough cookie. That's
I've got a
No
gig
for me,
doing in. I've got a gig doing in. Is it Hoyk? Been asked to get down there day one. I need to come up with a Hoyk accent.
Oh, you've already.
I'm feeling bored.
I tell you who's excellent.
I know who you're going to say.
Macca.
Aye. Brilliant.
Aye.
Different gravy.
Rubbish.
So
Heard them
he
all
is.
before.
No, you should get into that.
No.
I know.
Because it's for losers, isn't it?
Easy money. Fucking losers.
Easy money.
Fucking hell, man.
But you get paid for
For
it.
guys that can't get on
Alright,
there.
I didn't know
When
that.
this goes
I
tits up, I'll
don't, we
start
don't get
doing
paid
that.
for it. We
What
just
do you
get
mean you
asked
don't get paid
You
for
don't
it?
get paid, just go along and do a wee
Fucking
bit.
hell. 3-side envelope, 500 banners, there you go.
Is that what you got?
That's it. Alright, well, there you go.
Let's
I
see what's under that.
I didn't know
You're
that.
growing your hair.
I didn't know that. No, there you go. That's how you fucking got me in, innit?
Do you watch a cooking show?
Aye.
Do you know that he deliberately shaved his
Aye.
beard and man, Wowzers.
And by the way, the
Keeping all
bonnet's
that.
getting back on because it's fucking freezing in here, isn't it?
know.
Can't believe how cold it is in here. Oh, dearie me.
Energy prices have went up, mate. With
Well,
fucking
by
skin.
the way, it's costing a few bob. Maybe I will do that after dinner. Speaking
No, that's the reason I'm doing it. Fucking gas and electricity's up 54%, man.
Do you get-
to heat the house?
do we get paid for this?
You'll get a few quid in your pocket for this, mate.
Magic. Good. You look
Hit that 100,000 subscribers, you'll get fucking me on a few quid.
happy days. So we'll get
What's your Pornhub channel got? 100,000 as well? No, you're up to 200,000, isn't you?
270 the last time I looked.
So we've still got.
Aye. See if you've got one of the
Fake taxi.
IPTVs, just go right down to the bottom of the screen at the bottom of a wee triple X, just click on it, you'll see a lot of fake taxi. Hey, what about fake taxi?
Oh, it's selling
Only
the
offer
taxi.
sale. Made him an offer. Fucking rejected it, so he did.
You offered your hydro money for the taxi,
Aye, I
didn't
says,
you?
I'll give you the hydro money and I'll give you a shout out in the podcast.
Right, on to the football. You ready for this?
No.
Why not?
No, I'm quite enjoying this part.
It's
I like it.
good,
It's good, innit?
Magic.
You want to introduce us to the cooking show? A wee bit of patter beforehand?
I think we should do that, aye.
Right, mate.
Aren't we?
We'll do it. We'll think of something for you.
Aye. Good man. Right,
Right.
what's happening?
Right, Alec Neil said Celtic look unstoppable at the moment. Agree, man?
We see different everybody knows side, didn't they?
Alec Neil's just jumping on the bandwagon.
just
Isn't it? We've been
jumping on,
saying
didn't
it for months,
We
Alec.
said for months, but I didn't hear him saying that months ago, but
How you're sitting there.
how could he, by the way?
I just,
I'm scared, sorry to say, but is it the best football I've seen in years?
It's my favourite. I said that months ago.
Aye.
It's my favourite Celtic team to watch in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
it's reminiscent of some of the really good Celtic teams that used to be before. They've got flair, they've got guile, they've got composure. The defence was questionable at the beginning of the season. They've started looking a bit more solid. Players coming in are doing a job. I mean, look at the team Wednesday night to Saturday. There's quite a lot of changes. The bench looks strong.
Yeah.
It's just how many chances they're creating. It's like
They go for the
and
fucking jugular, man.
it's not even like chances that are half chances. They're fucking all clear cut. See, when you watch the highlights of that game yesterday, that could have been like 8, 9, 10 goals easy. The boy Kelly's done well, and I would say more so that there was some bad shots on target. There was some bad efforts at goal, but no, they were very, very good.
I've seen a different side to them because usually teams sit off and Motherwell went and pressed them high up the pitch, but just so comfortable under pressure.
How do you go about it?
I didn't think Motherwell. I know they went and pressed high, but I didn't think they done it properly.
They knew what to expect. They tried to match fire with fire, Motherwell, didn't they? And there is no way they were going to, come out on top against Celtic. They're in a, go to admit it, they're in some place at the minute.
Yeah.
The football they are playing, it is scintillating, isn't it, stuff? It's,
Wow.
Andy Halliday would never say that sort of word.
It's quick, it is, it's the energy, see the pace.
Aye.
It's all right saying go and play at that pace, but you need the quality. Of course you do, and I always think of good players, and you always hear like they should play at a quicker tempo. Good players, when they do that, you can't live with them.
It's not just off the cuff.
No,
Seriously, it's not just off the cuff. Everyone's in a certain position at a certain time.
So you keep hearing the manager saying it's the way we train. It's the way we train before the game, and you think normally what we used to do before the game. Don't know what you done, Kev. You guys, you would take it right down, you know what I mean? It would just be a wee loosener, and that. No, it seems to me that every day they go in, it's like bang, 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 on it all the time. So, listen, I watched the first half. I did, so no, you're not right, because I had to, as I said, take the missus in, so I got bits of the first half, didn't see all it, but...
Maybe dropping our Maccas.
So I was just dropping... See how you comes into my head, man. So I didn't see the second half, but I saw the highlights last night, but the first half. And you know what you expect for Celtic, don't you?
Aye.
But just try to stay with them. Well, it's hard. So,
But I don't know how would you play against that? Do you? I think we've seen it with Rangers is when they pressed. I think maybe in the second half at once. Maybe some part of the game they got a wee bit of success at that one time when they think Celtic kicked it out. That's probably obviously that's the way you need to go.
But Motherwell pressed them with one up front. Me personally, I would go with two right up against the two centre backs.
aye.
But it was Van Veen that was kind of trying to work between the two centre backs. For me, you need to go two right up against it and make them kick for goal kicks.
They started 3-4-2-1.
One and a half.
Aye, because the two, is it Goss and who is it?
But the ball was going there and then Goss was going, they're too good at players, they just play around that. I would just go right up against them and try and get the kick. But again, what as I say, they're so comfortable with taking the ball with a man up their arse that it's hard, because guys like Hatate, when you do go and press him, he's good enough to get out of that fucking that tight press.
It's the when they're passing the ball into each other, it's the intensity of the pass, and their touches are so good that they're comfortable. You fire that into me, and it's like you say, go up and press the two. if everybody else squeeze up, the Celtic just go bang, 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 bang. Before you know it, they're up, they're in behind you. What do you do? How do you stop? To stop what Celtic's doing now, you need to be a well-drilled organisation and be on it.
Right for the off.
Right for the off, and keep that going, sustain it for like 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes. That's hard.
But
That's
I do
very hard.
think there was a wee stage of the game that it was working for Motherwell.
That's the other thing we don't touch on with them. It's the fitness. Their fitness is phenomenal. And I think even early doors, I think the players, maybe they struggled with it earlier in the season. They are picking up a few injuries, but I think as time goes on, the players are getting used to that fitness, you know, and so other players, other teams have got to they've got to match that. So they've got to, it's not just for the coaches, you've got to think yourself and look at that. That's an example. The fitness side it you've got to get to. But me, you are talking about pressing high. See now, watching Celtic, I would drop after the halfway line. No.
Well, Rangers done on Wednesday.
But Rangers never worked them for the halfway line. I look back and I thought about that after the game. Things, you kind of overthink things, and then I'm thinking, Walter Smith used to go to Celtic Park, concede possession, drop off, but when they go to a certain point, bang, they went after them. But I don't think in this day and age you're allowed, and back in your day, my day kind of, how do you stop them? Sometimes you went, you hit them, you get into their faces. You're not allowed in this day and age. You're not allowed to tackle. Tackling's a dying art, but you need to use your physicality. But I wouldn't go and press them high up because the pace and the play around you, it's difficult, isn't it?
But what's the one thing that Celtic didn't want to do? I would try and get them. I would try and do everything I can to get them what they didn't want to do. They didn't want to kick the ball up the pitch. No. They didn't. They want to pass it. I would try and get them uncomfortable. But as you say, they're good enough that they could maybe go and play. That's where you need maybe better players to go and that can press in that sort of way. So it's very hard.
Regardless of what we say, they need to be on it, the other team, don't they?
Do you know something? I've watched quite a bit of Motherwell this season, and Motherwell are not a bad side. And they're a physical side as well. You know, but they went back, didn't they? I was listening on the radio. They went back to a 4-3-3, didn't they, in the second half? They changed the formation.
Yeah, they changed the half.
Well, they had to anyway, didn't they? What was it, 3-0 done? So, they've changed it a wee bit for me and probably tried what you're saying. Then they thought, no, we'll just need to kind of,
I think they conceded more chance in the second half than they did in the first.
Right.
Can I say as well, all the attacking players get all the credit. But see, when you watch, I'm a big one for watching where players are in when their team have got possession of the ball. We're going to come to Hibs goal in a minute. See, when Celtic have got the ball high at the pitch, Carter Vickers and Starfield halfway line every time. But see, when you're talking about fitness, that's a fitness. Because it's a fucking slog for defenders that every time the ball goes, you need to get up to the halfway line. And that's why now they can keep teams pending. Starfield and Carter Vickers do really well in their position when Celtic have got the ball.
I watched that against Hearts.
Drilled Derek, exactly.
When they played Hearts and Celtic were attacking, the two of them are right up, and see when Hearts managed to get the ball out, Carter Vickers was right up against the Hearts striker. And he didn't get a minute to get a touch. So they're basically, when it comes out, they're basically that tight and close and high up the park that they just get the ball back. And even if it does go beyond, Joe Hart's just going to hoover it up and come out and do what he has to do. But
the first goal comes for it, Kev. See, the first goal, the ball goes back to Liam Kelly. It's nothing to do with great football. Ball goes back to Liam Kelly. I think it's Hattati that goes and presses him, or somebody goes and presses him. Ball gets kicked, and the Celtic back four are 2 yards inside Motherwell's half. They actually score a goal for being high, compact. Ball comes, Greg Taylor nods it down, they go and score a goal for them. That comes for being fucking in good shape off the ball. No, it's not great football. It's just being well drilled. So that's the side of the game that they've got much better. Because last year, Celtic would go and press the goalie, and the two centre-backs would be 10 yards inside their own half of the pitch.
And because of like, so the teams that are, see if you've not got comfortable possession of the ball, you're never going to hurt Celtic in behind. Because Celtic's on it, not allowing teams to get
comfortable possession because they
press so high. Even like I know that if we go back to the Old Firm game the other week there, and in the second half, Rangers had more possession of the ball second half, but Celtic did their bit, but they still looked well organised in terms of, even though Rangers had it and had a couple of opportunities, they still looked comfortable and then in control. But it's for a guy to come in at the beginning of the season, and we talked about it, rebuild. What's it going to take? We all said that Rangers would win the league. It's going to be a struggle. And
he never,
because obviously he knows what he's talking about. 6 months on, Celtic's playing fucking the best football.
What's happened as well? See all that you're talking about being drilled and the fitness and that desire. The players have got to buy into that. So they have, and I'll touch on Motherwell a wee bit because I have watched a good bit of them this season. Because if you look at even their stats at times, They dropped off earlier on in the season. They didn't have a lot of the ball, you know, and they just worked their socks off. And all it takes is maybe one or two players in that to go, because we know what I know what I was like when I played. I just wanted the ball all the time. And when you've not got the ball, it can be hard work. No physically, just mentally. But they've bought into that, the way his philosophy. It takes time, but he's brought the players in.
That's it. The recruitment's
He's brought the players in that get
and
that.
They're all on the same page with the thinking that if they don't perform to the levels, there's somebody waiting just to come in. And then when they do rotate, like they did from Wednesday to yesterday,
seamless, mate.
The players that come in are just fitting straight in. It's as if like there's no...
Because he's bought players to fit that system.
It's
where they went wrong last year, and they just bought fucking anybody because they thought, oh, he's a decent player. But does he fit how you're going to play? With no point in signing him.
Well, like Anja, we headache noodle.
What's his strongest 11? What is his...
It's basically it's a midfield for me because you've got Rogic in it. I'm going to sound so stupid here because how good he was yesterday. But if all four are fit and you're asking me to pick my best 11, Rogic doesn't play. I'm going McGregor.
Turnbull?
No, doesn't play.
O'Reilly.
I'm going McGregor, Hatate and O'Reilly.
I would agree with you.
I would go with Roger instead of O'Reilly. I've no chance.
Just take O'Reilly.
O'Reilly's superb so far, but
he's a lefty, he gives you the balance. He's a lefty, isn't he? So he gives you that balance.
O'Reilly's very good.
Did you hear the commentators yesterday? Liverpool done a thing on, obviously they did stats and who to sign, and O'Reilly came up as one of the top midfielders.
Aye.
Did you hear that?
He went to Celtic instead of them, isn't it?
No, instead of Liverpool, I think Liverpool went in for him, but I think somebody said that when they done the stats,
I heard somebody
say he was one of the top midfielders.
A source told me that he's going to be the next big English midfielder.
Who's the source? Well, you've got Paladin and Milton Keynes, don't you?
They're big on stats, aren't they? A lot of the foreign clubs are when they're looking at players.
It's the numbers. It's an algorithm thing now.
Brentford and Brighton are
they used to, that's right.
Aye, they put the stats in, and certain players will come up,
right?
And then they'll be like, right, he fits all your stats, and you think, but he's playing for so and so. But if the stats fit, they're thinking we can get him in, and it'll work.
See when you go back to the start of the season, I think it was the second game or something. I remember looking at Celtic squad and I went, what is going on here? I remember saying to my dad, I was like, somebody's conned in, she's coming in here because of the team. It was obviously they were ready to go and plan and sign players, but I mean, the recruitment, I think the majority of the players is him in it, is brought in. I think it's a scout or I think it's him.
Abida.
Brilliant.
What about his numbers?
Frightening. I had a wee pop at me early in the season
because he took your pal's place.
Really. That was it.
Makes you sick every time he scores, doesn't it?
I don't like it when he scores at all. The lanes all sit down, we don't move up.
But mate, I've got this problem at Peterhead just now. We're good, mate. We dominate games, like we've got control of games.
Saturday, did you dominate
well, we had 57. We had dominate.
Did you? Right? I don't know.
More possession, more shots on goal. 9 corners to their 1. But I'm a good team as well. No taking anything from them. But ball goes on the other side of the pitch. As we're playing a 4-3-3, your wide man needs to become a second striker. We didn't do that. They didn't react quick enough. See, if you watch, I watched the first half back again. I text my young wide player who's got on loan to Aberdeen. What's your difference between Abida when the ball's on the other side and Mida when the ball's on the other side? Ball's on the other side, Mida's ambling at the edge of the box, mate. See, when the ball goes on the left-hand side, Abida's fucking sprinting to get as close to the goal as he can. That's why he scores goals. Watch it back, mate. What's the difference between Abida and Mida?
The Rangers game, Barisic. He's right in the penalty spot.
He's as close to the goal as he can get, mate.
But that's on that. Like that's on the player. His awareness to see what's happening over there, and he's not going in too early. He's waiting until the left side are set for the cross, and then he's making his run. And because he's making his run that late, the fullback doesn't have a chance.
But he sprints when he does it, Kev. It's no jog.
Desire. I get there. It's like because I don't know. Sometimes I watch games. And you're talking about that, being aware. I think players are aware, but it's that. Well, I get there, and it's so you need to drag that out yourself.
Too many players nearly got there. I nearly got there. Just get there.
He does it. He does it for the full game, mate. He just makes that run all the time.
It's funny you're talking about stats, and then you're talking about a team plays. Look at Aberdeen, a team that dominates possession but creates very little.
There you go. Right. So we're talking about Aberdeen scoring goals. Ramirez, they play that 4-3-3. Ramirez has scored 10 this season. How many have the wide players got?
I know, but well...
That's what I'm saying. If you play in that 4-3-3, your 2 wide players need to be your goal.
Mane.
Exactly, mate. They need to get themselves in the box and score goals. But that's what Celtic did at Aberdeen.
It's a great point, but it's having that desire or or do they feel that? Well, I'm saying at Aberdeen.
Is it instinct? Is it do some of these wide players have the instinct to want to get in the box?
I don't know, mate.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
why would you not want to score goals? I don't get it.
I know, but
Nah, I just think some of them they try to get by with just doing enough. And that's not good enough. What you've got at the minute at Celtic is a team, a group of players that that just give you everything right for the off. They don't. It's none of that. Oh, I'll save a wee bit for the second half. I'll play 80%. And sometimes I was guilty of that playing a game.
Sometimes you're like on the cooking show.
But now what you're seeing as a team, right? As soon as that whistle goes, bang, they're at it. So the other teams have got to react to that. They've got to have a look at that. That's an example. They're setting an example at the minute. So
animals.
It really is animal signing, but the title race is well and truly on now, innit?
Oh, bang!
But just
I was
just about to go on.
But I just wanted to say,
sorry,
I just wanted to thank you because obviously McGregor was wearing a mask, and then you sent me a picture of the mask that your dad had on. It was leather.
Leather one.
With his zip.
Last night we had more all right. I don't know how McGregor would get so much credit for putting a mask on. Every night. Fucking mental. Surprised.
But the pitch though. Motherwell's pitch is usually brilliant.
Surprised at that.
You said Pat Nevin and Stephen Fagan have been there 1v1.
They've got 1v1s and Tom Boyd as well.
But high heels.
High heels on. That's what you see the big thing. No. No, listen, it's pitch is shocking.
And you're going to. I'm assuming you're going to talk about Rangers now because that was
massive win.
It was brilliant because I was wondering myself what a lot of Rangers supporters what we were going to get. And after, that Celtic performance, and the players would have been watching that. Of course they would before the game. So they needed to react. Even the supporters, in the ground, the place was bouncing. And by God, did we get a reaction?
How much of a difference does Morelos make?
Aye. Do you know, and quite rightly so, you were a centre forward, right? And he did play really well yesterday, but I think everybody else stepped up to the mark as well. And they needed to. There was an aggression.
I think Rangers are stronger with Bassey at left back.
Yeah, 100%.
He's aggressive.
See when they went to that on the Wednesday night, straight away you could see Bassey is very, very hard to get by. He's quick, he's strong.
But he's got a mistake in him.
He's got a mistake in him, obviously, but Rangers did step up yesterday. That's going to be a bit of boost. For your rivals to go 4 points clear with a big 4-0 away win, and you're playing Hearts, who's third, been doing well all season, off the back of Wednesday, you're thinking, this could be a wee... But Rangers, Morelos, for me, that's the Morelos that everybody fucking knows. He was proper on it yesterday. He's that focal point that they need him in there. I think everybody feeds off of what he does.
I don't think he played a minute with Columbia.
No, he wasn't even in the squad. He wasn't even figuring.
I know.
There he was. So he's come back with maybe a wee chip in his shoulder. I think that's when he plays well. When he's got that chip in his shoulder, when he's angry.
Can I tell him there's a chip on somebody's shoulder?
I've eaten that there. Put a bit of salt and vinegar on it.
But he was top notch yesterday, absolutely. But I tell you what, that aggression was there. That willing to go and shut people down, get close to people.
Derek, you're spot
running after the ball.
The difference that having Morelos and Ryan Jack makes, because a wee bit of enthusiasm to go and fucking run and tackle people. The difference it brought to Rangers yesterday was night and day for Wednesday. Yeah. Ryan Jack wasn't sitting off people like that. As soon as the midfielder got the ball, he was out tackling him.
And that's what they needed.
Yeah. A big lunchtime to be fair. I thought he played well. He put his sail about as well. And I know Ryan Kent sometimes takes a lot of criticism, but he's still a good player. He was good yesterday as well.
See, when do you think Aaron Ramsey will play?
Came on, didn't he?
I'd like to start.
When he came on.
When do you think he'll starting?
No.
Do you think
I would put him in right now?
No, I wouldn't.
But you know what?
No, because as soon as he come on yesterday, I watched him. I think he's got a wee bit to go. Fitness-wise, definitely. And because I was wondering, I'm thinking,
how's he going to get fit if he's not playing games still?
But after an hour, right, I know the match fitness, but after an hour, I'm thinking, right, why did you not put him on? But then he put him on, 15 minutes
He put Kamara on before
and then Kamara, what a goal Kamara's was. And there's a response, somebody that could quite easily spit the dummy, because he's been whipped off an old firm game. That's the attitude, but that's what they need right through. But when I watched Ramsey coming on, I just think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, hopefully I'm wrong, but I think he's got a wee bit to go. He needs games, I get that, and maybe we all want first team games, but I could see why he wasn't put on maybe earlier. Jack, I was a wee bit worried that he was keeping Jack on, Ryan Jack, because I'm going like that. You played 45 minutes just a few days ago and you've not played for a long time, and I'm thinking, because he took a soreing in the ankle, I don't know if you saw that, but I'm thinking,
I seen that.
You know, and he's kind of get away with it, and I'm thinking, no, but after an hour, probably the right time to take him off. But he's like your talisman. He sets the tone. You know, he gets in, gets close to people, that attitude.
Jack, I agree 100%.
So that's what Rangers needed. They needed that big time.
See as well, but they needed that. I think they needed that big result, because see if they went there and won 1-0 yesterday, right? Listen, important to win, but Rangers fans don't want, when they're playing, to be scoring a goal, maybe sitting back. They need a big performance.
Never done that yesterday.
So they went, keep going on the front foot.
But also fair play to Van Bronckhorst, because we were saying you should maybe go back to the 4-3-3, but he's stuck to his guns.
But the other side was, you saw a wee bit Kent with a wee bit more freedom.
Yeah.
You know, you watched him in the last few games, you know, it was kind of rigid. We watched the game yesterday, he's drifting in, he's picking the ball up in a central area, he's allowed to go and roam. So there's been wee tweaks there, a wee bit of difference for the manager in those terms as well, but the players, it's that aggression, that attitude. I mean, and I've saw Rangers under Van Bronckhorst take the lead and then coast. Right?
Aye.
Celtic don't coast, you know that. They go for the second, they go for the third. What we saw with Rangers yesterday, they go to the first, they wanted the second, they wanted the third, and that's the attitude. That's what you've got to be like.
Hearts were
As
good as Rangers were.
What would you say about Hearts, Kevin? They weren't missing Suter.
I know, but that's the thing. They're playing a 3-5-1-1, whatever it is.
Aye.
3-4-3 sort of. 3-4-2-1,
For me, I think in that game yesterday, they should have went to a back four, maybe put the boy Devlin sitting in front of them. So like a 4-1-5, 4-1-4-1, whatever it is, just to try and give a wee bit of protection, because they don't have the recognised two centre halves.
That's right.
When you lose one, you can maybe get away with it. When you lose two, and I felt that the three of them are too narrow, which allowed too much space out in the wings. So Kent was getting the ball easier, Rebo was getting it a lot easier, and they were coming in. It was just wave after wave after wave. There was never a chance where they could actually get the ball down and up the park. And then I was thinking, why did they not just play two up front either? Why did they not put the big boy Sims up?
Sims should
try and hold the ball.
Sims was good when he
get them up the park. He's not a target man. What he is, he gets the ball on his feet, he gets his tail turned, and he runs
people.
He runs
the channels. Yeah.
And I think if he had that yesterday, they might have been able to get Hearts 5 yards further up the park. That might know, because Hearts were camped on 18-yard box the whole game. And I just thought maybe Robbie yesterday.
Hearts were a lot like Rangers on Wednesday.
Aye.
See, when Rangers came into Hearts half, there was no pressure on the ball. Watch the first goal. Ryan Jack takes about 6 touches.
Yep.
And pings it out to Bassett. As soon as that ball comes into your half of the pitch, ball goes to Ryan Jack. The closest man has to get out and stop him, because they're good players.
Morelos' second goal is a great finish, and obviously get a bit of fortune with the
But even that goal, Kev, there's no to him.
He shouldn't have been in that space in the first time. Why is somebody no tight on him?
He bullied him yesterday, didn't he?
Of course he did. He would have fancied that. He would have looked at them two boys.
Right away.
Civic.
Is it Toby Civic?
He would have looked at them and thought, I'll fancy my chances.
I'm going to give it to you.
And
with Suter and Halke, they've got physical presence and they can get in a boot. Morelos, but yesterday, once Morelos got that first goal, you just knew, even like the cross in, man, it's like, Ryan Kent had only one place to put that ball.
It's a great ball, wasn't it?
Great ball.
Brilliant. I thought it was a great goal.
See, that's a defender's nightmare. When you whip that around you and it skids off the surface, the keeper can't come for it. It's a great ball.
The pass was brilliant. The pace, and you're saying Ken gets there and just one thought,
Derek,
whip it, and
on the pass, fullback.
Bassett, great pass.
Great pass, but the fullback's been sucker punch for the...
Aribo played that
pass.
Bassey's played it, and what do you call him? Kent's just went one way, defenders went the statement, and Kent's went the other way. That movement is great.
That's the first page of the
that's
coaching manual.
It's the fucking first page of the coaching manual. Defenders just got to sit there.
Let it go wide.
And let it go, and don't fucking follow the run.
Andy should have started.
See when Andy,
I
thought he was Willie Collins for a wee. He fucking Willie Collins double, isn't it?
He does look like him, but doesn't he?
Has he got a black referee's outfit on it? I think.
Some of the decisions, they were ridiculous, man. Honestly,
what ones were you not happy with? What ones were you not happy with?
Oh, come on. There was the one that Jack were talking about. It was a Saurian. You know, the boy comes out Bellingham, he comes through him, he makes contact with him, you know, it's clear and obvious, and somehow wee Willie standing 10 yards away just doesn't get it, doesn't see it.
Wee Willie needs to go back to the bath, didn't he?
Balogun, textbook,
that was a good tackle.
Gets the ball. What are you supposed to fucking all of a sudden have a horn break in your arse that's going to pull you to a halt? You know, my man, I was going, what are you looking for? You know, it was wet, it was skiddy. But sometimes I go
on some of the refereeing decisions. See when you look at Hearts' last 3 games, the amount of penalties they've no got. They're probably like the 5 most clear-cut penalties. Hearts, apart from the Rangers game Saturday, but the game against Celtic.
Hibs.
Oh my God, Hibs! 2 penalties against Hibs.
Did you see Kevin Clancy sent the boy off for Livingston? He done fuck all.
He never even
touched him. He touched me like I think he was going like, excuse me, mate, a couple of times. Just
The worst thing about that red card is that poor boy couldn't appeal that because
I played with him at Swindon, mate.
Second yellow, he can't even get appeal. He's like, he was going to fucking fight them all, wasn't he? He went for the 4th official.
How's Robert Madden did?
Is it still a contact sport?
Oh, it's shit.
I don't know.
Are you still allowed to touch and what was that? What you on there, boy?
By the way, we're saying about Aaron Ramsey. If he needs to get fitter, Aaron Ramsey, a wee bit extra training.
Boca,
Thursday night. Aaron.
You should get him doing.
He can do the Zoom call in the Freddie Mum as well.
If you fancy waiting 6 minutes for a shot and goal and a long line, then
I'll be throwing it to you.
Oh, brilliant. So we've got a title race, haven't we?
It's banging out, and I said a massive thing that nobody actually said the other day, that Rangers now don't play any top 6 team away from home until the split.
They're away to Dundee United, which is, I know Dundee United,
they've just went into the top 6, so they're up in top 6.
I think that reaction by Rangers, considering what happened last Wednesday, that's the best reaction.
Yeah.
They've got themselves, because people are looking at this as a potential banana skin, and then all of a sudden you might be 4 points behind Celtic, and then it's like you're thinking, oh God, here we go again. But
that's
to bounce back and win 5-0, that's
two great squads. You look at Rangers bench yesterday as well.
And Rangers, that's what I mean.
I'm
Rangers
smiling though because last night that just felt so good after that result. Look how Rangers responded.
So good?
Right. Sometimes people talk about fucking that game was better. I'd rather have watched football than have sex. I tend to agree now, by the way, because the feeling it certainly lasts a bit longer. You know, it feels good now. Last night I'm still buzzing this morning. You know what I mean? And that sore back kind of disappears and all that. It makes you feel good.
Doesn't say much for camera food, does it?
I still love that.
I love it as well. I've got her on Facebook, mate. Her face is a delight, man.
She's beautiful.
So user monks, she looks like Scandinavian.
What a good thing, because our niece has opened a wee cafe called Cheesecake Delights.
Right.
So
catchy.
If you want to do a wee, you can do it up there. It's a lovely wee place. No, in fact, I'll need to bring someone.
That's what I
need to do. Cheesecake Delights.
But here, by the way, you take it away now.
No, you take it away.
No, with it.
No, you go.
It's just that. See that? Right, sorry. Right.
No, I'm desperate for the tapes to get. I've said it last week. Deleted when I said he's got to be the best manager in 50 years in Scottish football.
Yeah.
What has happened with Sean Maloney's Hibs?
I will say something. They did create a lot of chances yesterday. Anik in the St Mirren goal. See when you come on here, mate, you might watch
the highlights.
The highlight. Do you not see the chances? Anik had a good game there.
Anik saved a lot of it. They were big chances.
Right at the start, didn't he? A good save, wasn't it?
What's your take, Simon, on Kevin Nisbet? Derek, what's your take on him?
I'm glad you just brought that up. Do you want to know why?
To me, like he doesn't feel confident that he's going to.
I don't think he looks happy. I've watched him the last 6 weeks. Now that boy, for some reason, he doesn't look happy in himself. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening.
Like yesterday, there was on Saturday a cross come in or cut back, I can't remember, and he's kicked it towards goal and it's just got there. That Kevin Nisbet, yesteryear would have just a fucking leathered that into the goal and that'd have been it. Yep. Whereas it's like, I don't feel like he looks like he's confident in what he's trying to do. Last week against Hibs, he gets in, he's on his right foot and he's trying to bend one there and boy tackles him. Kevin Nisbet just went right foot, left foot, hit it across the keeper.
Kev,
I don't know.
Is that maybe doing the way Hibs are playing because it's that slow build up? He's not getting enough service.
I think he looks frustrated.
Saturday I thought they went to Kevin Nisbet quicker.
They need to go quicker. Yeah. That's the whole thing about it.
He does great for the two Henderson chances.
I know. Like Kevin Nisbet, I'm not thinking of him in any way. Because
you mean in front of goal?
Football, but in front of goal,
Getting shots
There's
off.
something changed where, and I think if he starts scoring goals regularly, Hibs completely change. But they've not got anybody there that's scoring freely.
I'm not saying he's not trying. He is. I'm not saying he is a good. Evidently, he is a good player, a real good player. But there's just something I feel that's missing there. That he's no.
Is he still dropping away in?
Well, he was earlier.
It's hard to see on the
so maybe he's been told to maybe stay a bit higher.
But he can drop, man.
No.
I mean, I watched the last time I watched him. It was the Motherwell Hibs game, and they never created a chance. Hibs, they were so slow in their build up and that. And remember, I says it when I come in, it was like as if they're as an overcoach, too kind of strict in the way they set up and that. And just they need a wee bit more freedom. It's if they need to go and enjoy themselves. And that's what I'm thinking about Nisbet. It doesn't, to me, look as if he's enjoying himself.
I would agree. There's something there, but he is a very good footballer. And he's a guy that could easily score 10, 15 goals a season in a Hibs team, but it's not happening. You've got to ask yourself, well, why is it not happening? Because you can go to the training ground and work.
See if you're a point a match.
How many times do you think you try to say something then you just got completely... I'd say 5.
Do you want to know what I was going to say? Because... see with Nisbet, because I watched him at Dunfermline. I've intentionally done that. I watched him at Dunfermline quite a lot, and he was running the channels, there was a buzz about him, he looked happy, and I don't see the same player.
No, you're right. Here we go. See if you're appointing a manager like Sean Maloney though, do you need to give him...
Of course you need to give him time.
For his style to come in.
Of course you do.
And he might need...
He's still got a lot of growing to do, Sean, as well.
A lot of growing to do.
But I mean...
and a lot of players, Simon, to fit his style.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's only had that one transfer window, but...
Well, look at Ange when he first came in, mate. It took him a while to get going as well.
I'm
not comparing Sean to Ange, but I'm just saying.
No, but the only thing is with that, like, Sean's style, is he going to get that type of player in his squad? It's going to be very difficult for the budget they've got.
Since Ange told you, Paul, would you expect Anthony Nelson to play the way he's playing now? So you can make players better. If you're a good coach, you can make players better.
The players he signed for Japan, they're the ones that made the difference.
And
Ralston's on the bench now for Juranovic.
No, I know, but he has made players that were there before better.
No, 100%.
That's your job as a coach and a manager.
100%, but the players he's brought in, like Kyogo and Hatate and these guys, like, they've made a massive difference. Is Sean Maloney going to bring that ex-player that's going to make that difference? And
can you see a change in Hibs? It's going to take time to Sean implement what he really wants them to do and get them doing it every week. But can you see glimpses of change?
Well, early on you could, Kev. I think they played really well in his first 3 games.
He's got to find a balance for me. He's not, at the level that he was working with the boys at Belgium. And then, again, I'm not being disrespectful. You come to Hibs, they've not got the players
it must be hard,
that. So he's got to find a balance. When to play for the back, when to build up, and when to go a wee bit longer. And try and use, you look at who you've got in the squad. We're talking about Nisbet. You think he's a good player. He doesn't get enough service.
No, he doesn't.
And he gets a wee bit. There might be that he gets frustrated because of that build up. You're talking earlier there about a shot every 6 minutes at training. Well, in a game, maybe
he's been going to Boca. Sean's been taking the boys down to Boca.
Sean said.
He couldn't quite this Boca.
What did you say? Sean was just too old for the primary 1 class.
But again, I'm not going to be critical of Sean's style of play until he gets a while on the job. What I can be critical is that setup for that throwing that they concede. And again, people blame Doyle Hayes. Why? Because he's gave the ball. People get the ball every 2 minutes in the game. Yeah. But the setup, you've got 3 at the back. Lewis Stevenson's taking your throw in. Your middle centre back's dropping to get the ball, and your third centre back's on the other side of the box. That's when I can be critical.
Yeah, surely that's the fault. It's not the player that gives the ball away.
Exactly. Well, see if you start blaming players for getting the ball away, then they're scared to get the ball, and you're never going to win the ball.
So I know come down to the manager, but they probably says, right,
that's what I'm saying, it's come to your setup.
So he's going like that, right, I want you, you're talking about the centre back, I want you, as soon as we've got the ball. So they've got possession of the ball, they're taking it. The shy, to me, is still a pass. So he passes it, and you're right, he's lost possession, but until he's in safe possession,
then you can go and play higher.
Then that's your trigger to go, high and wide or whatever you want to call it.
But they're already high and wide before he's even got the ball under control.
It's like your centre, we played all Saturday, as I say, we had quite a lot of the ball, and your centre midfielder gives the ball away, reacts quite well, but Skuggle's a good player, takes it by him and plays a lovely pass through. Our midfielder comes in at half time and goes, sorry lads, my fault for the goal. And I was like, it's not your fault for the goal. What, could you give the ball away? Happens all the time.
Yeah.
I've not watched it back, but I will today. What I'll be annoyed at is I guarantee that one of my back four is sleeping when we've got the ball and he's known the position that we ask him to be in when we've got the ball. That's the fault for the goal. It's not losing the ball.
If Sean's analysing that game the day for Saturday, right, and he freezes that segment to throw in the goal, so he throws it, the boy takes the touch. It wasn't a great first touch, to be fair to Dundee. It wasn't a great first touch because he had to then take another touch to get his feet. Whereas had he opened up his body in a half turn, he might have then been able to go. He will freeze that at that point, and surely the first question you've got to ask is, why are you up there? Why are you there? Why?
There's about a 15-yard gap between the two centre-backs.
So if he asks that question, and the players turn around and say, "But that's what we were working on last week in training, gaffer."
Be surprised.
You know, I know, but what I'm saying is, who's right, who's wrong? Are the players gone too early? Or are they not just, I don't know.
Again,
and then you flip it to
Jim
Goodwin. Jim Goodwin probably knows that's what's going on.
Well, Jim said
they've probably been like that, right, when that's, I worked on it. As soon as that goes, boom, we all go. And they've done it a few times. I think they've shown.
Jim said in his post-match interview that we set traps for them. And we tried to capitalise on those traps. And that's what they've done.
They've done it brilliant.
By the way, I must say I really like Jim Goodwin. I think any of the next kind of Hearts,
He's got the best grey hair.
I think Jim Goodwin's got to be my shout again. Good job. He is a proper manager, Paul, I agree. But does he need to start getting results to go to Rangers on Wednesday?
He needs to get results because Hibs are a massive club.
But will they?
They'll know. I think if Rangers turn up the way they did on Sunday, Hibs could get.
You'll get next season too, won't you?
Oh, of course you will. Yeah. You can't be giving Sean Maloney the job and no giving the guy time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is his first managerial job. He's got bags of experience coaching with Celtic under 18s, and then he went to the Belgium setup. And by all accounts, he's travelled kind of all over the world looking at other things. So you've got to give something at a time. He knows what he's doing. It's just. Which he had a January transfer window where they've never really brought in too many players. So at least give him to the summer, let him go and get some players that he fits into.
I think he did bring in 3 or 4, Kev, but
you're asking 3 or 4 players to come in and hit the ground running.
And they've lost their best player in Boyle.
It doesn't happen.
Listen, with Hibs going there, they're not expected to win because of Rangers, that performance yesterday.
Hibs just need to go and put on a better performance.
Well, it's one of them that well, I hope they're not allowed because hopefully Rangers have learned their lesson and Rangers go and press them.
Yep.
So I just hope they don't revert to what they've done before under Gio, which set off a wee bit because Hibs will enjoy it. So the way I think they're fragile at the minute, aren't they, Hibs? They're under a wee bit of pressure. You're saying obviously with the fans. So the best thing to do is just get at them right away. Do not allow them any time or space and get at them. But I think it's maybe a wee bit ingrained in them at the minute. They're going to try and play that. And if they do it against a Rangers side, if they're aggressive, they'll come undone.
Tell you what, it's a slow race for 4th place, isn't it?
Aye.
Nobody wants it. It's
a fucking slog to
Told
get
you
fourth.
that.
Hearts are 10 points clear.
Hearts are 10. Hearts are 3rd.
Aye, Hearts are 3rd.
I don't think there's anything between the rest of them. No. And I'm talking for Dundee as well. Right at the bottom of the table.
Well,
I don't think there's much.
Seamless link, Derek Ferguson to the next bit. He's a pro, isn't he? You can tell he does the radio. By the way, flirting with wee Ali Defoe and seen that on Instagram.
Wow, she's
never showed you. It's great.
Good lad. Oh shit. Hey, she likes you, boy. There you go.
One of many, Derek.
Hey. And I was in your favour saying, he's a good looking boy, wee shy, isn't he? And she was going, is he? Like, kind of, a wee bit of doubt. And I said, did you see it?
I watched it. I watched it.
With a good
I thought you were a bit embarrassing for a man your age to be acting like that, but whatever you want to do, mate.
Talk about dropping down low.
You're the man that's an expert on this.
That's exactly what I'd like to get here. Dundee. I think
they're Lord of the Mill shit just now, isn't they?
And she went, I think they're doing, Simon. I do, and it's no nice to be seen next. I don't like putting teams like just front in, but I do think they're going to struggle now.
For a team that I watched early in the season playing some really good stuff, but I think it's important you just get points, on board in it. And you look at their squad, you look at their bench.
So see on that what you've just said there, though. So see how you said this is a question. I'm not questioning you, but. See, when you've seen them early on in the season, have they went away for playing? And have they went to just try to win points? And is that maybe why they're not getting points?
No, I don't think they've changed.
They're still trying to play.
And I think that maybe James McPake's philosophy. He still wants to go and play. You look at St Johnstone, they hadn't won in 10 games, they're up against it. Look at them, they're not conceding now. They've went in, they've just said, right, we're not going to get beat. I think maybe Dundee should have done that about 3-4 games ago. you know, to try to, I know you might say, oh, that's pretty negative, but going out with that philosophy, listen, we don't get beat today, you know, and you look at, I know we're talking about Dundee, but you look at the two that was playing up front for St Johnstone, it was Stevie May, you know, and Henry. They're good players, you know, but they're workhorses. And I think that's maybe what Dundee have needed, just to dig in, work your socks off, just get a point here and there and build a bit of confidence. But it's just my opinion. Maybe they've thought with the players that they got, and sometimes, quite rightly so, you might think, like, the ability they've got, like, we will win this game, we keep playing, and they came undone, you know.
On Dundee Saturday, they 1-0 up. And then a great goal, very good goal. Then they have a great opportunity. I can't mind the boy that missed it. It cut back to him, and he basically missed a sitter. He scores that, they go 2-0 up. It's a different outcome.
And then the goalie has pins and needles in his hand.
The goalie's fucking, what's he doing? He's got fucking jelly hands. I don't know, I know he saved a penalty, but fuck me, man, what is he doing for that first goal?
That kills you, mate. He's a manager.
He scores the goal, he saves that first one, they're 2-0 up, they probably win the game, they've got a chance, they're sitting there thinking, right, that's us in 22 points, only 3-4 points behind above, but now they're sitting 5 points behind, whatever it is, and you're thinking, alright, okay, what's going to happen now? But like you say, Derek, they've got some good players.
Look at the bench.
Rudden's a great signing as well. Played against Rudden, watched him at Thistle, very good. He'll score goals. Rudden's good.
And what is it? He runs
the channels, works his boys off.
You know, works his socks off.
Simon, is he cup down against you?
I fucking hope so. I think he is.
He will be, won't he?
Yes, he is.
Big game, mate.
Big game for us, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
What's the worst tackle you've ever had?
Talking Chesky nearly broke my leg, mate, at Leicester away FA Cup. Felt sick, mate.
Did you? Aye.
Fucking topped his man. And the gaffer would usually go mad, but see, because he played with Kincheski at West Ham, he's like that. No, Paul's not like that. And I'm like, mate, my leg's nearly fucking hanging off here.
Does that mean anything? I know.
That was a shocker, mate, honestly.
When I played for Coventry, I went up to win a header, and Danny Shittu was playing for Watford, and Danny Shithouse came through me that fucking hard.
Danny Shithouse.
Danny Shithouse came through me. I swear to God, a part of my body went into another fucking metaverse, honestly. I was like,
must have been some size of fucking metaverse.
I thought I was in a fucking car crash, honestly. I got up and he's fucking looking at me going, did
you get him in, man?
I fucking went for him, but he was a beast.
You see the biggest tackle you've seen is Pat Evans.
Pat Evans was a cracker on me.
Biggest tackle I've ever seen is down there.
Pat Evans.
Pat Evans tackled me.
Right off his face.
Right off my head.
That's
enough of that. That's a cracker.
What about you?
One taught me a lesson early doors. I think I was at 17 down at Paisley, St Mirren, Billy Abercrombie. Absolutely done me. Should have broke my leg actually. So I learned a lesson for that day. You know, if somebody's coming in a wee bit higher than me, I'll go in a wee bit higher name. So it kind of taught me a lesson right away. But then when I left Rangers, I would have been huffed in two if he'd have caught me. Terry Hurlock.
What
a scary man. Two footed, he comes flying through the air horizontal, and if he'd have hit me, I would have been huffed in two. So brilliant, by the way.
Seen 50-50s, did you bottle?
What a lovely guy.
I don't mind.
Oh,
That's not a shite
50-50.
I don't know.
50-50 was class. You knew that you're just fucking, he's getting it, and see when the two you actually got the ball at the same time, and it was as if the ball burst in between the two. They were fucking good ones.
No, I didn't mind the tackle.
But anyway,
there's nothing worse than a shite bag on the pitch when you can see
you like the
somebody.
other tackle, I know, don't you?
Right in your gub, you done a shot.
Right, biggest game next weekend, Peterhead v Dundee.
Oh, I know.
The Open Goal boys are up to it.
I know.
You coming up?
Is it a Saturday or a Sunday?
Monday.
Was it a Monday?
Monday night, mate. So there's no excuse saying you're busy. You can drive the boys up.
I might go up a bit earlier and see Lewis. I might go up.
Carver will be with him. Carver will be with him.
Oh no, they did Dirty Mondays, didn't they?
Dirty Mondays.
Mondays are dirty day.
Right, by the way, I might.
Come on.
You saw legit ticket?
Of course, we sort all the boys out.
I know.
Anybody wants to come.
Someday, but on the game itself, Simon, how
Who's
you
your
looking at it?
Be good to see if the boys show that bravery that we want for them, mate, to go and get on the ball.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm the most harshest guy in the world when I didn't feel like boys are doing well, but hard to criticise the boys just now, mate.
Yeah.
Bravery, quick reaction to losing it. Just to be.
Who was it you playing Saturday?
Alloa.
How was Fergie?
I think he was fine, eh?
Aye.
Are you going to pop it for Dundee?
I play, mate, 100%.
You're asking for trouble.
Oh no, we'll try and play, mate. Definitely.
I know you would.
We've got players that can play, mate. So why would
exciting, that a good tie, that.
You can get a guy at the pub to come and kick the ball at the pitch, mate.
So
anyone can kick the ball up the pitch.
And you talk about being brave. It's been brave, innit, to be able to go and play.
Right, talking up that way, Aberdeen.
Well,
Bad result in it.
Bad result in terms of
away
the fact
form's
that
terrible.
Fucking, they waited until Livingston went 2 goals up before they started to actually create chances. I don't know why they've
changed formation.
Is that what it was? Don't get me wrong, I do believe it should have been a penalty on your boy. How he's not saw that.
Referees, the referees have been poor.
Bad, it was a pool one.
But you usually ask him to pull you off, didn't you? So maybe that's why he's doing it. He's just pulling you off.
Was it Nicky that was pulled loose? It was like a clothesline for the wrestling.
He's just super, Nicky Devlin. He really is. The job he's doing there is just incredible.
He's taking into that captain.
Good player, but it's a penalty.
I've heard a wee bit of
every day of the week. But again, it's the referees. The referees have been poor of late. So they have.
Because if Aberdeen's get a penalty and they go 1-0 up,
we had one as well on Saturday, mate, honestly.
You be careful.
You be careful.
It blows your mind, it does, but what can you do?
Mm-hmm. But they changed formation in the second half.
So what did they go to second half?
I think they went to a 3 at the back. It started with obviously 4, but I mean, look at the back 4. They've got the boy on loan for Celtic, Montgomery, you've got Ramsey, young boys, and then you've got McCrory. McCrory's only 22.
Is he a centre back McCrory though as well?
I think McCrory, I think he's better. His best position, is a right back. I think he's a good right. I watched him with Scotland under 21s quite a lot of time, and I think McCrory is a really good. He's fast. He's really quick.
He's physical.
He just could be the ball could be a wee bit better, but that's a young back 4. But then what was touched? Yep, they changed the shape, which they had to. But look at their bench on Saturday. That's the reason, because I looked at the St Mirren's bench. They've got a good bench. So have Hibs. Dundee, we're talking about as well. Look at Aberdeen's bench. It's pretty poor. And
Craig Brown on the bench.
On the bench.
Jim Jeffries and Craig Brown on the bench.
But you think everybody goes the money that's been spent, the money that they've threw at it. We'll go and look at that bench, and it's no.
So why is that then? Injury?
Who is it? Watkins is out. He broke his leg, didn't he? So he's probably out for the season.
Right. If he's a big miss, Watkins, because he's one of the striker that actually goes and fucking works his balls up.
We just spoke about somebody getting people on loan. Zach Rudden would have been a brilliant signing for Aberdeen. Because Aberdeen, but the criticism is they play in front in teams too much. Because they've not got the personnel, so they need to find somebody, or else you need to ask somebody to play a position that's maybe alien to them. But they're going to have to do it because they're going to have to stretch teams, and they don't do it.
Had a few chances near the end of the game. The Jets had one cleared off the line. Good finish.
It's a great finish.
But do you think that's because he's used to kicking balls off your arse, is why he's hit the ball right at the boy's arse?
Possibly, Simon. He's probably for playing that game. I was handing him the crossbar, bounced in, just blocking shots from arse.
But do you want to know how I know he's a top pundit. Thursday at the Cooking Show, everyone's raving about Ramsey. Still got a lot to learn. Now, what's your second goal? Why he's trying to play offside, I will never know.
You called that Thursday, no?
Well, is he not thinking?
Because
or has he been lazy?
Back step in there, and he's the last man.
Or has he been lazy? Or has he not? So he's got a lot to learn, the boy. So I think that instead of getting ahead of ourselves, he should just concentrate and work his socks off in every aspect of his game. Not so much going forward, but defensively. And sometimes you look at, and that's what I'm saying, that back forward. Considine's been out all season. You sometimes look, Gallagher, that's the only man. Was he even on the bench? I don't know. I think you should bring Gallagher back in as well and go with 3 at the back. But there's no that experience, and sometimes that's what you need for the young boys. They need the experienced boys. Like you're doing with the young boys at Peterhead. Go and speak to them. It's not always about on the park coaching them, it's about talking to them off the park as well. And I think so.
That goal, the second goal, Levy with Forrest, he even looks offside, Forrest. So why would you not be stepping up? Because it would have been easier one to play offside, but Forrest, best Forrest at that far there. What a finish.
You said they're still in the bunk beds, him and James. Surely they're going to get their own room soon.
No, they're happy with the Mandas house. Loving it, they're both of them loving it. But I think, by the way, the wee man's flying, isn't he?
Aye.
Absolutely.
He knocked back a move to
St Johnstone.
But
does it St Johnstone suit him? I don't know.
No.
That style of player.
Does Livingston? Do they?
Oh, they're at it all the time. Oh, good. Aye. By the way,
style of player.
Could he step up? Could he go to Aberdeen and Hearts?
Well, I think his contract suit in it in the summer. Livingston obviously desperate to keep him.
He scores. Hey, he chips in the goals.
He was a great wee finisher.
Yes.
Isn't he a crack wee
I
finisher?
can't believe he's still playing. I think I played with him at here. What age is he?
What, it's only
He's
26,
still young,
27?
Still really young.
It's a bit old for it, but you and Barry are still in bunk beds, so it's not that young.
No.
For bunk beds,
I like that views too.
You never get your own house, isn't it? Just going to stay with the...
Get my what?
You still in the same room, aren't you and Barry?
Oh, aye. Still staying in one big house.
Pittodrie here Wednesday night. I can't see anything but a Celtic win.
At Pittodrie?
Aye, I can't. Do you mean, Derek? I can't see how they've had bad results and stuff. But listen, they obviously got the point against Rangers, but I just can't. It's not to be
I think
Celtic.
Aberdeen are struggling to even be top 6.
Wow. I think they fell out it now. I could be right.
I think they might even struggle to get there. You know, and again, that's what I'm looking at. How do they change it? They need. I think there'll be a change of shape. I think they'll go to a 3. It's not a 3 at the back. It's a 5 at the back. They need to go to a 5 at the back. I think there's a lot of players in there as well that are not playing with confidence, and I think the manager's under pressure as well at the minute. The fans are
are they on him now?
Big time. Aye. So, but there's an expectation with Aberdeen that it should be at least third. Yep. I think they're struggling for top 6. That's why.
Again, hate to say we told you so, but did we not say at the end of the season with Derek McInnes and we got slaughtered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saying how good a job he'd done.
He set his standards every year, third place every year. I think maybe the ones to finish 4th.
I think there's a lot of people out there that are the same opinion you use. You know, sometimes you don't know.
Better the devil you know, but I know Aberdeen fans say that the football had become stale and they want to change and stuff like that.
There wasn't a change of style.
But there's not been much of a change. It's not really... Like that, to me, watching that Aberdeen team's not any better than the one that were.
No.
So...
And that's what I was kind of looking forward to, if that was the case, and you would put up with if they were going to be losing some games, if you're seeing this open, expansive, attacking football. But it's no.
If you're attacking and you've missed 5 or 6 opportunities, but you've attacked attacking, it's been entertaining. You'd say, right, okay, we'll take that and it's in, but it's boring. It's not great to watch.
Experience so Leighton. I think they're going to bring Leighton back in.
They should bring him back in.
Jet's going to start the next game.
He's been knocked at the door, Leighton, isn't he?
Where's Craig Brown plays? He's still in the hole, innit?
In the hole.
In the hole. Well, I'm McLeish back in.
But here, I'll tell you one thing, and we failed to mention it, and it should be mentioned right at the start of the show. Is it the biggest dick's going to be back in the league? Dick Campbell. Oh my God, what a result that is. I know.
Said if they get to the Premier League, he's going to get the hair transplant and his teeth done. So he looks like a Premier League manager.
He's not doing Pink's to stay the way he is, wasn't he? He's not getting it done, Pink. But listen, are they going to do it? Let's say now. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it now, right? And you don't even need to say agree or disagree, because I know you'll agree with this. This is the exact same as when Leicester City win the Premier League.
Yes, I agree.
100%. It's unbelievable.
He's brilliant.
Probably a bigger achievement than
because a part-time and absolutely incredible. And I remember, when we went up to meet Dick Campbell, that feel you got off him, didn't you, right away? You felt like that.
Top notch.
Top notch. And he knows the game. So listen, it'll be unbelievable. I think the whole country's now campaigning for them to go the way.
He does know the game inside it. He was a good coach. I was at Dunfermline with him. Bert Payton was the manager. Dick Campbell was first team coach. The coaching sessions he put on were magic. They were
great. You said it was a big long queue again.
Big long queue. Pink was it on it.
But every day you just couldn't wait to get in there.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. I said it live on air.
Was this your other job at the BBC, right?
I went like that. I love Dick. You know. And when I said I didn't come out right, did it? So Dick Campbell, but
right, will they do it?
I think they will, because they're
a good team.
4 points clear, hard to beat. They've got, if they win the game in hand over third, they'll go 7 clear.
Wow!
And can you see Kilmarnock?
No.
Kilmarnock aren't great.
No.
I don't know.
Glass a great signing. I'll tell you that. Glass a great signing.
I know Derek McInnes is like grateful to get back into football. I don't think the Kilmarnock job is the...
So when you look at their squad, Ned, you look at their squad and...
I just don't get... Like, I like Kilmarnock.
I don't think, other than laughing at who's getting your asses off your seats. Glass is a great signing for United. Right good player.
Look at a Bro squad. Look at their bench. I was looking at their bench as well. And by the way, I know you've just said hard to beat. I just think they played some good football.
Yeah, they were.
Didn't they? But in trying conditions.
As good a football as
everybody says that. But they're hard to beat.
Very organised.
They can, by the way, they can play. No, they can play. But it's that attitude that we've got. Yeah. I love that. You know, and Dick, and talking about well drilled.
That's what I'm going to say. See what Arbroath, Derek. They've got a style, a way of playing, and every player that's in that squad suits that way of playing.
And they've lost probably their talisman. Big Nubley.
Going back
to, he was brilliant with them. So he's brought in
The best player by miles, captain O'Brien. Who's it for? Always been great. Could play in the Premier League.
Hold on. Who get the man of the match the other night?
O'Brien.
Right, for me, wasn't he? I love the boy Hamilton that just plays in front of that back four.
There's another one. He was on loan at Stirling Albion last year.
Right, but I tell you what, he works his socks off. He's maybe doesn't get the limelight in terms of, like all the accolades, but he goes, he intercepts things, he keeps it simple, he keeps that team ticking. For me, I loved him in the middle of the park.
Brilliant, and it's just,
well done, Dick.
Well done, Dick.
Love Dick.
Love it, Dick.
Dundee United, is that a bad result? St Johnstone were down to 10 for 35 minutes.
Aye.
It's hard when you get into 10 to break down a team.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I think you need to, it's hard. Sometimes if you're...
Give me playing against 10 over 11 any day.
I know, but if you're down to 10 and you're organised 10, it can be very difficult to make things tight. But Dundee United, what do they struggle with all season? Goals.
Even on the highlights, it looked like if Tony Watt's not going to score nobody.
So when the St Johnstone get down to 10, on the other team probably would get a chance. With Dundee United, the lack of goals that they score.
But again, I thought that would change because Tam Coates was at the game Wednesday, and I seen him showing him the shooting drill with the big line.
I was
expecting.
You get him doing this.
I was expecting United to score 6 at the weekend after that drill you gave him.
He's been taking it in the first day, doing the big line.
What is it you saying to the kids? What words?
Big massive words, Simon. But listen, he is man. Even at the game the other night, he was big on that, wasn't he, Simon? That drill, that line, and said Tony Watt's really doing well with it. So no, listen, he's but my God, I saw what a guy Tam Coates is.
Was he?
Oh my God, what a guy!
He was a gentleman, wasn't he?
Really,
did you interview him?
No, we sat with him at the half time of the Celtic Rangers.
No, we sat with him.
He was brand new,
and he was really good.
Charlie.
Because I think sometimes managers sometimes.
It's a bit sickening how much Charlie was up his kept
quite arrogant.
Gaffer. What do you think of that, Gaffer?
Gaffer.
They're a bit aloof, but he wasn't. He wanted to spend a bit of...
He wanted to do amongst it. Right, last few bit, lads. It's been good. Roy Keane looks like he's going to be named the manager of Sunderland.
Hope so.
But then we're not going to get him on a telly anymore.
I can still do a wee bit every now and again. I love that. You just go in and ruffle a few feathers, won't he?
Oh, he will.
I rile a few of them.
Well, I think you'll need a good coach for him, because I don't think he is the coaching.
That's what he needs.
But who was his coach?
Who was his coach?
His coach was...
His standards, but the standards he sets, that's how you'd be better just taking a wee step back at training and letting somebody go and coach him, taking them through it, and then just let him do the team talks and whatever happens match day. Because can you imagine him at training? Because I would imagine him as a player setting the tone day in, day out, and if we don't meet his standards, we're going them like a ton of bricks. So
I think it's alright hitting standards like which he does, but he needs to find a new way of expressing that and talking to people.
I think the difficulty with this Sunderland team is that there's a lot of young players in it, and I think him coming in, these young players are going to need to fucking step up, because at this minute in time, see the minute they go a goal down, they just fucking crumble. They fold like a deck of cards. There's nobody takes the game by the scruff of the neck. There's a boy that plays for Sunderland now, Dan Neil, gone to top. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly.
Dan Neil?
Dan Neil. If you ever get a chat, honestly, unbelievable.
38?
No, he's about 19, 20. Very, very good. Cut through the academy. Honestly, he'll go centre mid.
Right.
Just keeps it, pops it, moves it about. But there's too many of them of that age, and it's as if they don't have the experience to get over the line.
Right.
So they went top, and then they lost 2 games, and they could have been like 5 points clear. Even though Wigan and Rotherham would get games in hand, they didn't go on and kick on, and now they're 5 points behind in 4th, and their team still have the games in hand. It's as if like they're going this way. So the appointment of Keane and obviously Jermaine Defoe.
I might have changed my mind now that you're telling me this. You're privy to this. It's a lot of young boys.
It's a lot of young boys.
I don't think he might be the right fit. I'm thinking if you've got a group of experienced boys, it's sometimes
they've got some very
maybe the young boys need a guy with Roy Keane's experience.
Possibly. Would you not love to play under Roy Keane?
You would.
Amazing. Love the best. You want to play.
But I left when Roy Keane. He came in I left on the Friday. He came in the Monday, and I remember. Like Stephen Elliott played, and I said to him, "What was Roy actually like?" Well, he says he was fucking brilliant. He says he was very because I listened
to the first time.
I listened to I think it was Gabby Abongo last week on one of the radio shows, and he said that he spoke to the first team players terribly, and he was bad, this, that, and the other. But I've heard the opposite.
I think he was assistant at Villa, wasn't it? It's different when you're assistant.
I heard he was like amazing, and if Roy Keane walks through the door and he's a gaffer, you're fucking want to play well for Roy Keane.
Could you deal with somebody like him though if he was on you, but
Oh, aye.
would you?
Because what you do is you go out and work hard and make sure that he wasn't on you.
Who was it? Was it Souness or was it, I don't know, was it McCoy's that was talking about Roy Keane? And when they were in his company, he says brilliant company.
Company,
Good laugh.
It was Souness at the Hydro.
Was it Souness? He spoke about him,
Souness
didn't
says he never knew knew Roy to speak to one-to-one, but then as he got on with the tail, he says, but what a
So
great guy.
different.
Aye.
What about what Souness said about Andy for?
Can I
That
believe that?
Richard Keys got hairier knuckles in Andy's head. So all of that.
What the minute? How's Kesey doing?
It's Keysy.
I've not seen Kesey in a while.
Kesey's, did he smash it?
Keysy something. How do you think Roy Keane did? Well or
Well,
do you struggle?
This is my sort of thing. Is I think the honeymoon period will be amazing when it comes in. It's that lift, but then when it actually settles down, I don't know if the modern day game that works now. That unless you have got a brilliant coach in there that can do the coaching, he takes that wee step back and he comes in, and when he comes in, then it lifts. But if he's there all the time and it's that, the honeymoon period's amazing. But then when that just sort of drifts in, it can be a wee bit. No, I don't want this anymore.
It's just obviously we used to do interviews all the time. My favourite is Jason. You heard Jason Scotland's story about him?
No.
Jason Scotland was at Ipswich for him. And Jason Scotland, obviously a big striker, says we used to do shooting, and he heard it made me laugh because Keane was mentioning it at the weekend about hit the target. So I think somebody had a chance and you got to hit the target. Jason Scotland said we used to always do like finishing drills and the gaffer would just stand there every time you missed it, even if it was like by that, hit the target. He says, so one time, he says Keane used to put videos of his old Man United games on the telly. So if they had an away game, Keane would stick a Man U game with him playing in it and watch it. So Jason Scotland says. So it was like Keane playing against Juventus in the Champions League semi-final. So he says, so it just so happens we're going through a horrible run of results. He's in a mood all the time. Hit the target. He says, so we're watching this game on the bus. Oh fuck, he's putting a game on himself again. Put Foster Roy Keane on the edge of the box and he misses, hits it wide, and Jason Scotland shouts from the back of the bus, hit the target! He said Roy Keane looked up and was going to fucking kill him, man.
Oh, fuck.
I'll go down the lift though, Kev, if he gets a job at Sunderland.
They're needing a lift.
They've done well before, didn't they?
I think it was 10, 12 years ago he was there. And he'd done amazing getting them promoted in the Premier League. There's a good squad there to work with. They've got a very good squad. It's just needing somebody to put the jigsaw together and hopefully try and get because the playoffs will not be...
Here and Lee Dixon's going to be his assistant. Taking him off the
Because they work in the ITV together.
But
talking about going into Sunderland, is there any chance of going into Man U? How bad are they?
Wow.
Incredible, isn't it?
Honestly.
They basically signed the German Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager.
Aye, just a bit smart.
See him. I typed you into Google and to see his history. Like, why is he so highly thought of?
He's not been a manager anywhere.
He's not been a manager. Like he's not played. So how is it that?
I think
what is the right fit? Look at your manager at the minute. You know, was he a big? Was he
not a big name, but he was like
manager at World Cups.
Manager. This guy hasn't really managed though. It's strange how though he has got.
I think he was the manager in Iceland for a bit, Ralph, wasn't he?
Aye.
Fan Foods, Iceland.
He done well there, but
I think he
stopped. I liked the way he done that, but no.
But this thing that his teams are pressers. Myth.
He looks like a school teacher.
Can you imagine what Ronaldo's
him
sitting thinking in that dressing room when they come out?
Ronaldo, mate.
Ronaldo's fucking.
Dearie me.
He just slaughtered points, didn't he?
I know we're sorting Ronaldo, but
Ronaldo's there's no Ronaldo, is it?
But see if this guy's a genius, right? You look at any team now that wins things, they all press for the front. How can you do that with Ronaldo?
Oh no, it doesn't make sense.
I know Roy Keane sits and says, oh, but other people that did that, but he didn't get away with a passenger now, man, at top level.
And I think you're right.
You need to
everybody's got to buy into it.
Man used to play a weekend with Big McTomney.
Did you watch Middlesbrough game? I agree, he's done well recently, but they're the games when you say you actually need to go and dominate the game.
I know, but it's...
Man United, man.
But see this, I've heard...
I hope you get relegated, mate.
But I've heard...
I actually support Man United.
So I'm a big Man U man, but see, I've heard that PSG are going to let Potts go, right? Potts comes into Man U, but then that guy's going to be still running it.
I don't get that.
So Pochettino's going to let him take...
What about Harry Maguire at the weekend? He scored his penalty and he went like that to the crowd.
Aye.
See if you want the crowd to cheer, fucking win games and then they will cheer.
I can't believe
Penalty
it.
shot with Middlesbrough.
I can't believe you
I
even
don't know
talk
what
about
was
Man
wrong.
United.
That's only done.
I hate when people do that to the
I
crowd.
don't know what was worse. Was Maguire scoring the penalty and
How
doing
about
that to the crowd, or the Middlesbrough goalie celebrating as if he'd saved the
Saved the
fucking penalty? He can't never get anywhere near any of them.
Two of the worst goalkeeping performances I've ever seen in their penalty shootouts.
He basically stood in the goal and went, put it in that corner and I'll dive there.
Oh.
It was fucking embarrassing.
Be Ralph.
I don't even. This is on the sheet. Champions League, the only trophy they have a chance with now. Do they fuck?
Nah, no chance.
So on the sheet, what have you got?
Champions League, they're only.
thought you just said it.
Who have they got? Who Man
Say
U
the
got?
goal.
Doesn't matter, but
They're another one, mate.
No.
Man, you need a full new squad of players.
Yeah.
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 Who's your English team?
Who's my English team? Who do you think?
Chelsea.
Chelsea headhunter, lad.
Oh, you told us about that before.
No, I like it. And see, a way back, there was talk I might have had the opportunity.
To go there?
Aye. Me and Big Nicky Walker. I'd have been dead by now. It's in London, man.
Nicky
Imagine
Walker,
me in
the goalie?
London, 19, 20-year-old.
Nicky Walker, the goalie.
Aye.
See, he's just took over the family business.
Aye.
He did, aye.
That is multi.
What is that?
Aye.
The crisps?
No, Walker shortbread.
Walker shot.
Alright.
That's multi.
That's
No,
not
that's billions.
Aye,
That's
he's
no,
just become
we're not
the-
talking about millions. That's billions we're
he's
talking about.
become the CEO. I think he's
Nicky, if you're watching this, we would
Aye, we
could
could
do with some shortbread. Come on.
Fucking shortbread, get
especially
some
the
money.
chocolate chip one. It's
Aye,
fucking amazing. It's Walker's shortbread.
Aye.
So what was it, Chelsea? What happened with Chelsea?
There was talk here, I'm trying
the
to think.
Chelsea manager?
Was it Bates?
Oh,
Ken
Simon.
Bates, Ken
Aye,
Bates,
Ken Bates,
yeah.
I think he was a
Master.
aye. And there was 'cause I spoke to him. I was in with Scotland, England's in the squad. I wasn't involved, and I had a wee chat with him about it. And there was a wee bit of chat that I might have had that opportunity.
Who was the manager of Chelsea at the time?
Oh, I can't
Red Toilet.
remember.
Glenn Hoddle.
Di Matteo, wasn't it?
I can't remember getting back.
Abraham Grant.
We're a wee back.
Did you not think you were Frank LaBeouf? Is that what it was?
Ray Wilkins was he there? At
Big
that
master, that'd be brilliant.
Big Master Bates.
Big master bit. How did they get away with that? Seaman Staines, aye. Who's the other? Seaman Staines, aye.
What's that?
What's Seaman?
Seaman Staines.
Get on.
I don't know about what, in terms of David Seaman, you talking about?
Aye. Oh, where are we going with this? I'm even confused.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm going to go and watch new Jackass movies out today.
Is it?
Oh, but unbelievable.
Who's your favourite, Steve-O? I like Wee Man when he kicks himself in the head.
Oh, brilliant. This new film's unbelievable, by the way.
Did you watch Jackass?
Ah, amazing.
See,
Like
get
on
that-
MTV back
See
in the
that
day.
boy Campbell to tackle him, man.
Huh?
The Dundee, the tackle at Dundee.
Oh, that's a Jackass.
That's a Jackass
Aye,
one.
man.
Let him
You're just
go.
going to get 6 months in Barry for that one.
What about Duncan Watmore?
Let me
You're
shout out
giving
the
me a
boys
look
in
like-
Barry. I like the boys in Barry.
For
Do you?
Middlesbrough.
Aye.
I like the
Good
boys
lad.
in Barry.
Good boys then, weren't they?
Aye.
Aye, what are they doing in
You used to
there?
go in and visit them
Ah, you
regularly.
did sweet cheese and that, didn't you?
Aye.
Used
Talks and that,
used to
didn't you?
go in, aye. So
Oh, wait,
obviously-
are you
no, but
amazed how well your Gordon Ramsay story went then?
That was genius,
I
by the
know.
way.
Listen, Ramsey, but we spoke enough about him the other day. He wasn't the best, right? But that was it. But he was a quiet.
Was he quite critical of the food and that, like, the food that he got?
That's what I'm saying. He was upstairs and you could see that it was tiny and Irene had made him a lovely wee lunch and all that. But he was tasting it and no enough
He's got
salt.
seasoning.
Aye. But I think he made the right choice, didn't he? So it is. I watch all his shows. I prefer wee Gino, to be honest with you.
Oh, Gino de Campo.
Do you know Fred and fucking...
And him together?
It's brilliant,
Gino
that.
and Gordon, innit?
Did you see went
That's
to
different
Gino's
class,
house during the week there? Went to Gino's house in Italy. Gino's got the fucking vineyards and Gordon's like, is that your own like vineyard? They went, aye. Says, I make wine. He said, how many bottles of wine do you make a year? There's about 100 bottles. So they went into fucking try somebody's homemade wine and Gordon took a sip and nearly fucking choked. It was absolutely barking, man.
But I still drank it.
Oh, they still drank
Did
it.
you ever get a drink with Ramsay now?
No, that's what I'm saying. He didn't want to kind of socialise with us, after
How long was he
training.
there?
He was there about 6 months.
Was he?
No, well, they
Big
knew.
Big Jock Wallace had brought him in.
We're leaving Gordon, when Gordon comes
Trial,
to
innit?
Scotland...
6 month trial.
6 months, he was in 6 months. He was floating about and then he just disappeared. And then the next thing, he's world famous Gordon Ramsay. And he's good. I think he's in. I'll watch any shows.
So
I watch
talk
him
to us
all
what the
time.
ball would roll him, or would you just boot it?
He wasn't very cultured.
Right.
Peter Kay style. Fucking remember Taylor
Had
Andrea,
John
he took the
Smith
ball.
just boot it,
Just boot it.
He looks a fit boy now, doesn't he? You see him?
Wee bit of work done,
Aye, bit of a wuss right enough when it comes
Did
to...
you not say that McCoist asked him for 2 brown toast?